The meeting to order, and we'll have an acceptance of the agenda.
I hereby accept the agenda, Deborah.
All right, so we got a motion by Deborah Faust Clancy to accept the agenda as presented. Anybody second that?
I'll second.
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Sharon. I think Sharon seconded. All right, all those in favor, aye. All those opposed, no opposition, no
Aye.
abstentions. Okay, thank you. So it passes unanimously. All right, so the next item on the agenda is the announcement. We want to welcome the guest. I understand there's two guests, Amy Leonard and Barbara Cheeks from the library, who I know both very well. Appreciate you being here, and feel free to speak up during the meeting. You don't have to wait for the public comment section or whatever. And Tim, if you would like to make some comments about the meetings. Also, do we have a prospective member? Is she on? I'm not able to see.
Ms. Joseph is on, I believe.
All right,
Lindy
Ms. Joseph,
yeah.
how are you? Ms. Joseph?
She is
If
muted.
you click your participants button, you can see
All right.
whether.
Yeah, let me. All right, so I clicked that.
She is muted right now.
Is there any way we can tell her to please unmute?
Yeah, you send her a note on chat.
All right, does somebody want to do that?
I'll do it now, but I'm
Okay,
muted.
I can hear you now. I was having a little technical difficulty.
Right. Ms. Joseph, how are you?
I am well, thank you, and thanks for the invitation to
All
meet
right.
everybody.
Yeah, do you want to just, if you don't mind, even though this isn't right on the agenda, but Ms. Joseph, do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, please, before we get into the other guest?
Okay, so I have a degree in accounting that I got from Bentley University.
Mhm.
I've spent most of my career at Boston University, so I've been there for the last 30 years. I direct the finances for the pathology department there. So as I was talking with Sue about a month ago, she was telling me that they were looking for somebody to
join our board.
join the board, yes. And I told her, yes, I was familiar with the fund accounting because, you know, at private institutions like ours, that is what, I mean, that's the type of accounting we do. And I'm familiar with grants and contracts. It's a large part of the portfolio that I manage, in addition to the department finances.
Well, wonderful.
And,
You're obviously an Ayer resident too, so that I appreciate.
I'm an Ayer resident, so most people see me in the yard when I'm not working.
Yeah, living at 21 Washington Street, which was the home of the Morels when I was growing up many moons ago.
Yes, many a neighborhood people have told me about the Morels when they see me outside.
Yeah, all nice people. Okay, well, thank you very much. Do you have any questions right off the bat?
No, I was just briefly reviewing some of the materials that was sent and some of the things that you're doing. You know, I'm happy to listen to see how you conduct business, what you do, and how I can possibly add value to what you're trying to achieve.
Okay, well, thank you very much. As far as conducting business, we're trying to put a gallon of water into like a half a gallon glass, because we're going to do all this in an hour. So why don't we move on? So Tim, as the director, could you introduce Becky and Barbara and Amy, please?
Sure, absolutely. So, yeah, I asked Amy Leonard, who's our head of youth services, and Barbara Cheeks, who is our head of adult services, to give you all a little bit of a recap on our summer reading program for 2020. And because both of them were directly involved in basically reinventing that entire program so that we could do it mostly digitally this year. So I will turn it over to them right now, and they'll give about a maybe a 10-minute presentation, then we'll have a little time for questions after that.
Okay, whoever wants
Hey,
to begin.
everybody. Good to see everybody.
Hi,
We
Amy.
were glad to welcome Barbara to the team last November, and then we had COVID in March,
Wow.
and she has been longer in COVID librarian than not.
Very true.
What we wanted to talk about tonight is as many of you know, summer reading is a year-long planning process. So we started planning for this summer's Imagine Your Story last year in mid-September of 2019. And what we wanted to talk about tonight is a little bit about the timeline of like becoming virtual for the first time, Ayer's first ever virtual summer reading, what happened, how it worked, and how we see this moving forward for the library. And when Barbara and Tim and I first sat down, one of the first big turning points that I think we all agreed on was when the Ayer Shirley Regional School District reached out to us and the Shirley Library, their literary teams, all three schools, Laura White as well, and really decided that we had to make sure that the summer reading lists were going to be appropriate for this year for all the schools, and we did all of that virtually. And that was June 1st. And so we were kicking it off and realizing that, yes, in fact, summer reading was going to have to switch to a virtual program. So early on, we were canceling live performers that we had already booked, trying to still at that point reschedule. By June 3rd, Barbara had already started prototyping. It's called being in the sandbox, which I kind of liked, and started figuring out what would a virtual database be that would be most appropriate for our summer reading. We also had to rewrite the grant for the Ayer Cultural Council. We launched Curbside, and also in the fiscal year 2020, largest addition to the youth services ever in creating a huge supportive ebook and e-audiobook addition to the youth services. And that was also in that time frame, because we wanted to make sure that the kids of Ayer and the kids in Shirley who needed their summer reading resources had what they needed. And so we were really specific to all the newly created guidelines for summer reading from the district. By June 23rd, we actually did the live launch of Beanstack, which again is the database that we used. A lot of libraries use it. And Barbara's going to talk about that a little bit later. And again, great research, great creation. It's just a tool for librarians to use. And ladies and gentlemen, summer reading was ready to start for June 29th. Speed lightning of the team. Speed lightning.
At 3 different levels as well. It was juvenile, young adult, and adult this year. So it was more than just the children's room. We had 3 different programs.
So I guess really, I know it's a lot of information, but trying to be respectful of everybody's time. Really, what did that mean and how did it become? That's the start. That was sort of the platform that we all started with. Through a virtual summer reading, we had to create, there was a lot of new vocabulary for all of us, as everybody in the world has found that too. We had a lot of new definitions of how could you give summer reading to kids and families and adults and teens. And what we really quickly realized is we needed a couple of different, again, I'm going to use the word platforms or launching spaces. where we used Beanstack, which was the online database for the library. We used our Facebook for marketing, virtual tours, virtual links. We used our website where we created a whole page for summer reading where there was printables, PDFs, families could download, all kinds of wonderful things. The links were all embedded in our website. So that's another venue. So we had, again, Beanstack as a venue for families to access, Facebook to access the library, the website to access the library, and we also had curbside to match each of the weeks for, and that was our enrichments and our takeaways and our crafts for teens and juvenile. We worked through the collaborative summer library program. And we also worked with the MLS, Massachusetts Library System. The Massachusetts Library System was really great in being supportive of sort of helping librarians define our new parameters of measuring what we were able to output, what our families were able to use. Things like virtual offering was a new vocabulary for us. Those of you who know our programs, we would have had 82 programs that were programs in the library for young adults and the children's room. This year we had 73 virtual offerings, which are those kinds of things that we were able to give access to our families through the 4 different platforms for each of the themes of the weeks. For young adults, we were able to offer 22 offerings, and for adults, we were able to offer 29. And again, the term virtual offering comes from the MLS. There's also a new term called virtual attendance, which was great to keep track of. It sounds pretty amazing, but I went back through and looked at each in the backside of the Facebook management protocol. We're able to look at our virtual Facebook marketing is one of the places where we could actually get hard numbers. And there was 2 terms for Facebook virtual offerings. One is if it was a reach, which means somebody saw it. And the second was an engagement. And MLS said if they engaged for 20 seconds, it counts as a engagement, but it also could be something that a family used. It could be a video like our APAC support videos that we created from our performers who turned from live performers into video performers. It was kind of exciting. Our reach number was 12,691. And our engagements were 621 in a newly created, never before been tried out in Ayer. Pretty impressive. Along with all of this, I can share that in the month of July, we did over 700 curbside bags simultaneously with 2 teams. So I guess those are some pretty important numbers to share. And I'm going to let Barbara talk a little bit more about Beanstack because it was an amazing tool, but just that, a tool. She had to create some pieces.
One question before you stop, just for the records. You said 73 virtual offerings in total, and that replaced 84 in person that had to be canceled. Was that 84?
That's a number in past. We hadn't, we had put in our programming, and the 84 would have included both juvenile and young adult.
That's fine. That's fine. I just want to make sure I got the numbers right.
Thank you for asking. You're always good at keeping me on the straight and narrow, Cindy.
No, I want to get it right in the notes. That's my job.
So the juvenile was 73 and the YA was 22. So collectively, we're still in the ballpark.
And now on to Beanstack. Beanstack was something I looked at originally when I came, trying to become a more digital friendly library. It quickly became more relevant as COVID came about, and I'm proud to say that we jumped on it very fast. The Beanstack platform itself, the company, close to quadrupled their enrollment within the month of the COVID happening. We were one of the first ones in there because it was something I was already looking at. So I was able to play in what was called the sandbox longer. I had to go through a training and learn how to use it and go to the back doors and all this stuff. So we were able to kind of get a little bit more of a head start than some other libraries. The badges that we created can be for reading a book. So adults could read a book, it counted for a badge. Same with everyone else. They also had activities that range from everything from visiting a local museum that also linked to the museums that we have passes for. So there's always kind of that tie-in back. Amy and I sat down and looked a lot of what the themes were for the juvenile room, found links. So we embedded those in the Beanstack app itself, which could be an app on your phone or computer. Embedded them to Facebook and the website as well. So everywhere that there was a platform they could connect, there was something embedded that they could join in any different way.
And also, Barbara, too, just that each of those links that we were putting were different. So there was one set of links in Facebook, but there was a different set of links that we were offering to families on the website.
Yes.
Trying to get out to as many people electronically as we can.
Yep. I'm proud to say, too, that Beanstack being a platform we can use is not a 100% buy into a program. It's simply a database to collect different reading challenges. So everything that was in the Beanstack challenge was 100% created by us in-house. Every activity, every badge, every part of it was 100% us. They're just simply the platform to do it. And that was a huge turnaround. There was many people who used the app on their phone and downloaded the app, as well as used the computer. And people could also call in and have us upload information for them. So we were still able to help and have people participate even if they didn't have the program available. And they were able to find out about the program through handouts and curbside bags.
Saw those handouts.
Pardon?
We saw those handouts that were in all the bags.
Mm-hmm. Well, all those handouts and everything else was a turnaround of less than a month. So those were it was pretty good to turn all that around in that short time for a program that normally takes just under a year to do.
Okay, great. Good job. We're running out of time here.
Yep, it's time.
Yeah, excellent job, ladies, Amy and Barbara. Thank you very much. Is there anything we could do on the board to assist you?
As far as summer reading,
Well, anything, I guess.
like we're already starting to move forward on next year. We just have to figure out what
Thank you. The board has been wonderfully supportive, and we thank you, everybody, for your dedication to the library.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job.
Tim, is there anything else that you want the ladies to tell us about?
No, I don't think so. I guess, I would just want to say again that I really appreciate all the work that the two of them did to put this program together so quickly with, everything kind of up in the air the way it was. My hat's off to them as well. So it's just really great to have staff like this that can, that can work together and jump right into something brand new and make it happen. So
Well, thank you very much.
Be part of a team.
I hate to be an ogre, but we do have to move on
Right.
time-wise.
Yep.
Thank you, ladies, very much. And feel free,
Thank
if you want to
you.
stay in the meeting virtually, that's fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you drop off and go watch the evening news or do something.
No evening.
Don't worry.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you very much. Now, yeah, we do have to watch the time because we only have an hour. That next section on the agenda is public comment. I see Laurie Sabal from the Friends is here. Anything the public would like to say, or particularly Laurie Sabal?
This is Laurie, and I would like to make one very brief comment or announcement, and that is that the Friends is hosting a book and media sale on Saturday, October 17th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the library parking lot, and we are in need of volunteers. I know that a few of the trustees have already volunteered, and you know who you are, and I thank you for that. I would love for the rest of the trustees to volunteer if you have a couple of hours on that day. If you're interested, you can email me, and I will put you in touch with all of the information that you need to do that. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Laurie. Laurie, I don't know whether I emailed or not to volunteer, but I'm happy to sign up. And I'm more of a speaker on, rather on telephones rather than emails. So if you want to send the stuff to me, please do.
Okay, I will
Bob
do that.
Gardner.
Thank you.
Thanks. October 17th.
Yep, that's a Saturday. Rain date the following Saturday, but we do have a tent, so we're hoping that we will be able to hold it on the 17th.
I've already got it in my diary on my phone. Sounds good. Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is old business directives, annual evaluation, discussion of process and timing. So Tim Silva I had a brief discussion with him about this. He wanted to bring it up to the full board. So Tim, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thanks, Bob. Yeah, so Bob and I talked about kind of going forward, and I guess one of my suggestions was that we sort of move the timing of the evaluation to be more in line with what how the other town employees are evaluated. So the evaluations typically take place at the end of the fiscal year, and they're all more or less due to the town manager in this case by the end of June. So just I guess I wanted the board to consider the idea of moving the evaluation into the spring. Perhaps I would submit a self-evaluation to everybody in May, and then the board has a chance to take a month or so to do their evaluation, their work, and then the only other thing that I would like to request is that there's an opportunity for all of the board members to kind of review the final product before it is delivered to me and at the meeting. And I guess I'd also like to see if we could get the final evaluation sent to everybody a couple of days before the meeting, just so everyone has a chance to see it and think about it, formulate some questions perhaps.
All right, Tim, I agree totally with the timing. That makes a lot of sense. When I spoke to a representative down at the Attorney General's office about how to do this, they were, as I recall, and I have to check my notes, pretty explicit that it's supposed to be done sort of independently and individually, and that we're not supposed to coordinate any of the response or whatever. So, but, we've got plenty of time, and I'll check again with the Attorney General, and, maybe we're not operating under COVID either, and I'm not faulting COVID or blaming COVID for it, but it might be a little easier if we could do it in person. But
Bob,
yeah.
I don't believe that the results being sent out to people, including Tim, ahead of time constitutes
It's okay.
collaborating on it. We have all done the independent evaluation. It gets sent to Deborah or whomever. They collate it and they send it to us and to him ahead of time. That is not collaborating on it. That is
I'm not saying it definitely would be collaborating, Cindy. I'm just saying what my recollection was with talking to the Attorney General's office. And I wanted to be, since this is the first time I've directed it, I wanted to be, totally in compliance with it. But I'll check and
Okay,
we'll
I
have a
just
little more
want to say
time.
one thing. I just
Sure.
want to say one thing. The feedback on it has been that Tim should not have been blindsided by that information the way he was. That
I
was
agree.
the feedback. Take it or leave it. I don't ever want to see that happen again, where he has not been told or shown what the results are before we suddenly air it publicly. That's
Yeah,
all I
my
have.
intent wasn't to blindside anybody, but and I'm looking through my file now to see if I can find the notes, but I'm not that well organized. But I will check again with the Attorney General's Department and see if I can get something in writing from them. But that was my recollection of how I was instructed to do this.
If
Bob,
I
I
may
would-
make a comment, please.
Sure.
Cindy, I suggest you contact the Attorney General's office
Okay.
and find out for yourself, because the way we handled it was exactly within the limits of the law. Now, I agree that it wasn't fun for Tim to get his evaluation. However, it's never fun to get an evaluation. It's criticism. And unfortunately, during this time of we're being publicly recorded and it's, that's just the way it is. And I'm terribly sorry that Tim feels like he was blindsided, and he'll tell me,
He didn't say that. I said that.
fine, that's good. But I think because of your hesitation or whatever, I think you should be the one that contacts the AG's office, because then you will see that the way it was done is the way that it was supposed to have been done. And that way, everybody's happy. You'll see that it was done correctly, that it cannot be disseminated in any way prior to giving it to the director in an open meeting. And I'm sorry if other people feel that that was a terrible thing that happened or whatever they feel, but that's just the way it is. And, so check it out for yourself. Then you yourself will see, and you can report back and let us know what you think.
I will do that.
Great.
All right. No, thanks, and I do applaud that, Cindy. I spoke to some lady down there at the AG's office on July 20th, and that was her instructions, I believe, if I got the date correct here. But that was my understanding, and my intent was not to blindside anybody or to make life difficult for anybody, or to hold anybody in any kind of public embarrassment or whatever. I just wanted to make sure we were doing it properly. And again, with the COVID situation and meeting electronically, I mean, it's a little more uncomfortable for me to try to handle it, but I'm happy to try. So, but yeah, I understand, Cindy, what you're saying, and it makes a lot of sense. But the law doesn't always make sense, and sometimes you have to.
Well, the law is the law, and so yeah, I will call, and I'm not
Great.
saying that it was done incorrectly. That's not what I said at all. What I'm asking is there another way? That's all I'm asking. And so since I'm the one asking, I will call.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I spoke to a woman named Liz, I believe, down there, but
Doesn't
God
matter.
knows if
When I
it's the
call,
same
I'm going to
person.
get who I get.
Oh yeah, no, I know. They are very responsive. They call back very quickly. I want to just say that. Okay, anything else?
This is Sue.
Sue?
I expressed that same discomfort beforehand, and I think we had a pretty lengthy discussion, and people did go and look it up. I think one of the big differences right now is with the COVID, it's being filmed and broadcast on TV. And even when I first heard that, I just thought it was so awkward. Hopefully next year, we won't have live on TV. It's like Geraldo Rivera opening the. I would,
Except that Tim didn't pick up a chair and throw it at the monitor or anything like that.
yeah.
So, yeah, and I guess I wanted to, this is the kind of the first go around that we've had, as a group with the evaluation, and
You had one other
There's
one
got-
3 months into it.
right, but it was a different board, it was a different, very different situation. So I'm just I'm making these suggestions because, I got the sense that some of the board members were feeling like they would have liked to have had some chance to see the evaluation beforehand as well. I mean, yes, I would have loved to too, but if it can't be done, it can't be done. So.
Can I ask one thing?
Certainly.
Do we have to vote to get this into the board calendar to move it from September, which would be your annual, because that's when you were hired, to an earlier day or month?
I would imagine, yes.
Okay. So I
That's
motion
fine.
to put it in the calendar for a
I
different
think
month.
some discussion needs to be here.
Okay. I thought we were discussing it. Sorry, Deborah.
No,
Well-
we were discussing his uncomfortableness. Now we can
Okay.
talk about the moving. it.
Changing. Okay.
The timing, I guess.
So, and I guess
I'm
what
all
I
for
would
moving it.
what I would suggest is that maybe we table this discussion for now, and then for the next meeting, I can kind of put it on the calendar that we have, the sort of working calendar that we've got for, the trustees' kind of annual operations, and we can have a bit more informed discussion about like what has to get done when, how this would fit in.
Okay.
At that
That's
point.
fair,
And
Tim.
then, if Cindy has any, if Cindy learns anything new from the AG's office about, how it can be conducted, that may affect, when we want to have certain parts of it done. So.
Yeah, I guess I would say the only thing moving it to May is if we have elections that don't happen until April, they can't be of any help.
Right.
I'm sorry, Beck, I didn't quite hear you. We have an
I was just
election
saying,
in April?
Right.
So if we had a new member, you're just saying it would be unfair for the new member to have to do evaluation 30 days after being elected?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think they would have any information.
All right.
So, I mean, that's the only bad part about it.
There's another bad part about it.
Yeah.
We don't want to fit with the town hall, ever. We don't want to do what the town hall is doing. We are separate and apart from the town hall. I'm really tired of saying that. And I think the sooner people understand that we are a separate organization apart from the town hall, we don't need to time our evaluations with the other town hall employees. We do not need to do that. And I am totally against it for that reason only. And if you guys vote me, against it, I don't mind. It's just that I needed to say that people need to understand that the library is not part of the town hall and never will be because of our incorporated in 1957 or 1857. whatever it
1857.
was.
Can I just say something? When Tim and I discussed it, in other words, I understand we're certainly not part of the town hall. We're not under the town hall's orders, if you will. But he does have a right to, have his budget discussed before the town meeting. And I think, Tim, you said something about there was like a 2%.
The contract. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
merit raise or something like that. So
Right.
in other words, it would seem to me that we probably not necessarily want to comply with the town hall's dictates, but comply with if there was going to be some type of adjustment to Tim's budget or Tim's salary in his budget, we should have it done in advance of the town meeting, which heretofore was usually in May, but I think it was in June this past year. So that's the only reason I was thinking that May made some sense, but that's something we can take up at a later time when we discuss it further.
Tim has a contract with us, and I suggest that all of us get a copy of the contract and read it. And any COLA increases that Tim gets, the town gives it to everybody. So it doesn't matter when his evaluation shows up, unless, Tim, you can tell me it does matter, and tell me how.
Well, I guess my understanding was that, my contract says I get a 2% increase every year, plus up to another additional 2% based on performance.
So 2% is a COLA, cost of living that you would get automatically, and 2% would be what I would say would be a merit increase.
Mhm.
And then the merit, the 2% merit would have to be factored in time for the town meeting vote for your budget, correct?
Ideally.
All right, yeah. Or, I mean, I guess the money could be found somewhere in the budget, but anyway, but that's something, why don't this seems to merit, in my way of thinking, a separate line item and a discussion at a later date. And maybe once we find out from the Attorney General too, we can kind of discuss it all.
Yeah, especially if we have to vote on things at the end and Cindy's leaving. So we do need to move along.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's already 24 of 7, I should say. I apologize. Okay, yeah, why don't we move on? Is that fair with everybody? We'll just table this item and Tim, put it
Yeah.
on the agenda for next time. Is that
Yep.
good for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I don't need a vote
Yep.
formally, but just we'll discuss it. All right, next item, and this is the worst thing about being the chairman, is I got to watch the clock. The nonprofit status. Susan Kennedy, I think you had some discussions that you wanted to talk about with this.
Yeah, I collected all the information and put it together and sent it off to Cindy Thomas about 3 weeks ago.
Cindy Thomas is CPA.
The CPA who met with us back about 6-7 months ago. I contacted her at the beginning of this week to get an update for this meeting, and she said it's the corporate tax deadline, and she will get on it as soon as she finishes that. So,
Okay, is there anything we can do on behalf of the board or behalf of the library, or Tim can do on behalf of the library to assist you in doing this?
no, I did send her off everything from 2011 updated, all the expense and revenue reports and the balances, and she said it looked fine, and she's got it.
Wonderful.
All right, great. Good
Thank
job.
you, Stu.
So much.
Any other questions about the nonprofit status?
Yeah, Sue, when she said after the tax thing, did she give you a date, like when?
No.
I think isn't October 1st one of the quarterly deadlines for corporate tax? It's probably what she's working against.
And I think October 15th, for the people who haven't filed yet, when the automatic extension, the next extension is for the personal tax return. So that's what it could be, but I'm just speculating.
The quarterlies could be a quarterly estimate. She wasn't that clear. She sounded harried, but she had looked at the information. It's all there. So it's just filing, and I'll check back. Yeah, maybe in a couple of weeks after the 1st. And
okay, thank you very much. All right, so the next item on the agenda is the strategic plan.
Mm-hmm. So I can take that. I actually had a good conversation with Becky on Saturday. We talked a bit about the strategic plan, and I want to follow up with the other folks that are sort of expressed an interest in being on the committee, Lori and Sue and Sharon. Basically, there's no, I'm not arguing that we don't need to do a plan and that it's not going to get done this fiscal year. I'm just saying that we don't need to have, the goal of the process is not to have lots and lots of meetings, because we want to be able to do it. We want to be able to keep everybody involved. We want them to be able to attend all the meetings. So, the goal is to have hopefully no more than 3 meetings for the strategic planning committee, where they would be able to pull together, a group of some other people to join that committee, and then have that entire group go through basically an exercise to, come up with a kind of a vision and a mission and some ideas of the direction of the library. And that ideally will only take, 1 or 2 meetings. And then while that's going on, there'll be a survey of users and the public. There will be facilitated discussions with the library staff so that they have a chance to talk about what they think are the important aspects of the library. And depending again on how we figure out how to do this, we'd like to have some sort of either smaller focus groups that would take place on Zoom, or some other way to get maybe some non-users or just some of the general public involved in the discussion as well. I mean, again, like with everything, the pandemic and not being able to gather in large groups does kind of complicate things a little bit. But this is this is something that I'm confident can be done in time to get a plan put together for the board to review and sign off on by the summer by next summer.
Also, Tim and I discussed maybe a platform for people to do these surveys. I did reach out to the school. I don't have a 100% yes, but it does look very good that they would be willing to send out some kind of link to the survey to the parents for parent users and kids. And then they would also send it out for staff, which is great because a lot of the staff from the school use the libraries to get materials and things like that. So it does look like they would be able to help us out on that front.
Yeah.
That's great, Becky. Deborah.
So is step one to procure surveys from the general public?
Not necessarily. I mean, the survey can happen almost any time during the process. It's just part of the data gathering. So it's how it gets scheduled.
So I thought maybe that it might be a good idea to receive some other strategic plans from other libraries. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you, Deborah.
So if it's okay with everybody, I had hoped to contact a few libraries and have them send us their strategic plans, copies of them, so we can see what theirs look like, so we can know how to proceed with ours. If you wish I wouldn't do that, say so now.
Deborah, I'll just say there are some plans on the MBLC website that you can take a look at that libraries have done recently as examples. So
Great.
I'd say that's one place to start. And you can also, certainly any of the libraries around in the area, sometimes you can just take a look on their website and they've got it posted there. But
Yeah, it's probably all public record, right, Tim?
yeah, there's nothing. What you probably won't see is the detailed sort of action plan and how they're going to carry out, the particular things that they're going to do to achieve the goals that they've put in the strategic plan. So those things, those tend to be more kind of internal documents for work planning on a year-to-year basis. But if you contacted a director and they were willing to share it, or another board member from another library, I don't think it's certainly not privileged information as far as I know.
And Deborah, if you were going to ask for that additional information, possibly also the surveys that they used?
Ooh.
There are survey examples online as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thrilled to hear that we're making a little bit of progress in this area.
Yeah, no,
Thank
thanks
you,
very
Deborah.
much. Well, does the committee want to have a meeting first, or is that something that you can do
What's that?
individually and via
No, I
telephone?
think we can do it. I can do it. And catch up with everybody individually, and then we can figure out, put together sort of a schedule for, really kicking this off a little later in the fall, I think, after we get through the current sort of, I think a lot of people are a little bit distracted with the back to school stuff right now.
Okay. All right, anything else needs to be discussed about the strategic plan? All right, hearing none, we'll move to the next item on the agenda. Approval of the minutes from the meeting of August 20th. Cindy, anything you want to say about that?
I didn't hear from anybody about spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes.
Cindy, your grammar is perfect and your spelling is always above, it's always
please.
impeccable.
Was there anything that wasn't minor? Was there anything major did I get anybody's report wrong or anything that you feel needs to be changed before I send this in?
No, I motion to approve the minutes from August 20th as written.
I hear a second.
Second.
All right, second. All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No opposition. Any abstentions? No abstentions. So it passes unanimously. As always, a great job on those minutes, Cindy. Really, I appreciate that immensely. Okay, treasurer's report. Sue Kennedy.
Okay, I sent it out this afternoon. The first one, I used a spreadsheet formula thing, but it apparently didn't capture the top row, so I sent a second one. It's just been interest. So we're at like 179,000. Nothing's happened.
Okay.
No, I
well,
just
again,
wanted to say thank you for adding the purpose. You were able to find out through past reports about all these different checking and savings accounts and their purposes.
Yes, they have it at the bank too when the accounts were open. So
Great.
Thank you so
Excellent.
much.
great job.
Thank you, Sue.
Kennedy. Okay, any other discussion about the treasurer's report? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Second.
Second, okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? No opposition. Any abstentions? No abstentions. Motion carries unanimously. Director's report, and we've got that from Tim Silver already. Any questions on the director's report? Anything you want to say about it, Tim?
I will just add that we are, just as a sort of an update, which will appear in next month's director's report, we are actually making a change to our operating schedule, planning to roll this out next week, sort of a soft opening that we will be adding evening hours on Wednesdays to start. So the plan is to shift the schedule for that day from its current 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. to like noon to 7, so that we will have at least one day during the week where we'll be open after 5 for later afternoon, early evening curbside pickups and that sort of thing.
I'm sorry, Tim. When are you planning on launching this?
Next Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
And what will the hours be?
It'll be noon to 7, if I am remembering that correctly. Yes. So we'll have pickups going into the early evening then.
Tim, I think the evening hours are a good idea, but has there been any request or any discussion by members or patrons of the library that they'd like to have some evening hours?
I'll invite Amy and Barbara to comment on this, but from talking with some of the other staff, I think we've heard from people with either some of the teachers and also people with kids in schools saying that once the school year starts up, it's going to be hard for me to get here like in the middle of the day to pick stuff up. So
okay, yeah, that's fair.
We're trying to be a little bit proactive here and see how it goes.
Oh, that's great. I appreciate that.
Tim, I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have any idea where in the governor's phased openings public into the library would be allowed?
It is permitted now, and it's basically left up to the libraries as to how to manage that and to what degree to allow public into the building. So we are still moving towards being able to do that. I'm just thinking that we should be getting word that the big sneeze guards, we've been calling them, the shields, Lexan shields for the desks should be ready any day. So that's kind of the last big piece of PPE that we've been lacking. And we've also, the other consideration is that we're thinking about maybe rearranging some of the furniture so that it's a very limited space within the library building that we allow public. My general feeling is that I want to be able to do it to allow some computer access primarily. I know this sounds terrible, but I don't necessarily feel like it's critically important that we allow people to just come in and browse for books. I know that some people really have a hard time picking a book without seeing the cover. But I'm hoping that with the staff available to make recommendations and talk to people about what they like, and that we'll be able to kind of overcome that sort of limitation. But does that answer your question, Sharon?
Yes,
Okay.
it does. I was wondering if you have a soft target date in mind, and would curbside still continue once people can go in?
Curbside will still continue. My feeling is that curbside is here to stay for the duration. I think there are a lot of people that really enjoy the service and would be more comfortable just picking something up at the door instead of coming into the building to pick it up at this point. So, so we are going to be continuing curbside, and I have I've placed an order for an 8x10 garden shed to basically become our sort of full-time curbside pickup point, because when the snow starts flying and the wind really starts blowing, I don't want to be putting stuff out under the little white canopy that we're using right now.
Right.
So the shed will actually be put together right where the bike rack is now, that bike rack and that book drop right by the main entrance.
Right.
It'll fit in there quite nicely, and it'll give us a space to, a sheltered, solid space to put stuff out, all day, and hopefully, even, it might give us the possibility to do some like after hours pickup at some point as well. So, so that's in the works. It's something that there's like an 8 to 10 week, production time for this thing. So I'm hoping that we'll see it around the end of October. But so curbside will continue. We will probably have to, and I guess I'm hoping that the shed will make curbside easier and less kind of labor intensive than it is now, because if it doesn't, then we may have to reduce the amount of curbside service we're doing in order to accommodate letting people in the building, in whatever way, shape, or form that is, because we'll have to, it'll probably be by appointment. If it's a computer, you'll sit down and do your computer stuff for however long we can give you, and then we'll need to go in and disinfect everything and make it ready for the next person. So
Tim, that's
kind of what's that?
That's all good information. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome.
So Tim, I didn't catch when the date was for the computers to be available.
The so-called soft date.
Yeah, I don't have a date yet. One of the things that I want to try to get through first is, distributing the hotspots that we got from the grant. So I just got a draft back from Alicia in the planning office, a draft of basically, our how these things would be loaned out and what kind of the qualifications would be for people to use them. So we're going to work on that and get that back to Alicia as soon as possible, and then hopefully maybe by the end of September we'll be close to being able to loan those things out. We've got to get some cases for them and get them ready to circulate, but we're getting closer.
Does access to the computers in the library somehow relate to the hotspots? Because that is one of the things that we've been talking about since the COVID thing started was,
right.
People who need to file unemployment and do other things, getting them access to the computers.
Yeah. No, it's
and it's allowed now in Massachusetts.
It is up to the individual libraries how much access to allow into the building. Yeah, the individual libraries, the individual communities, the boards of health or whomever. So,
Tim, are any of the local libraries, local to us, Fitchburg, Leominster, Groton, Pepperell, Harvard, are they allowing physical access into the libraries now, do you know?
Some of them are, and some of them are not. Groton kind of has been all along. I think Littleton is allowing access for computer use, but nothing else. Mm-hmm. Clinton is allowing access for computer use. Yeah, but
this is all by appointment.
Yes.
And they're limited, and it's essential to tell people you have 45 minutes or whatever.
Right. So we need to, that's what we need to kind of work into our current operation.
And how long will that take?
Again, I'm not sure at this point. I guess, I would say no sooner than, the middle of October at the earliest, but I can't say. It kind of depends on, what happens over the next couple of weeks. Do we get, additional restrictions on, from the governor on, because COVID infections are going up? I don't know.
Well, we've had 0 cases in Ayer for the last few weeks, so
Yep.
Would it be possible to have this item on the agenda for the next meeting?
Have the public access?
Right.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, and we have about 1 more minute, it sounds, so.
Yeah.
Just keeping everybody on time.
Any other new business? Thank you, Becky.
Yep.
Any other new business? Anything? Anybody have any questions? Miss Lindy, are you still there? How did you like the board meeting? Not to put you on the spot.
No, it was informative. It's interesting. I spent, I've been in Ayer for the past 15 years, but I considered this a town that I slept in. But it's since the COVID situation, I'm actually getting to know the town a little bit better. So it's good to be more involved and get to know more details of what's happening in my community.
That's good. All right.
Bob, do we have to vote on this before we adjourn the director's report?
The director's report, yes, we should. Thank you very much, Becky.
Yeah, I motion to accept the report as written.
We hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? No opposition? Any abstentions? No abstentions? Thank you, Becky, for reminding me. I was looking at my watch. It's a minute after 7. Okay, so director's report is unanimously accepted. Any other new business?
I just would like to recommend that maybe Tim could mail some information to Lindy, or Miss Joseph, about the incorporation of the library and our history, if she's interested.
Sure. Yeah, and I'd be happy to talk over the phone or Zoom or whatever if you have any questions, Ms. Joseph, about the library and you know, and what we're doing, what we're up to.
Okay, and I'm online a lot, so you know, I'm an online type of person.
Okay.
Emails, you know,
Unlike me.
right, well,
spreadsheets.
I have your email address, so I will email a couple of documents that Deborah mentioned your way over the next couple of days, and then if you like, we can you know, we can schedule a time to chat or whatever.
Sure, that would be good.
Great.
I'm sorry, guys, I have to go. If there is any more discussion, Deborah, would you take a couple notes and just shoot me an email with them?
Sure.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Cindy.
Bye,
Thank you very
Cindy.
much.
Bye.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Miss Knox, it's like this bewitching hour. You want to go home, right?
I'm home.
Oh, yeah, home.
Yeah.
Does that mean we can impose on you more or no? That's not fair to you. No, that's
It's
good.
not an imposition.
You're living in the town hall. Anything else we want to discuss, everybody?
I think we're good, Bob.
All right, well, listen, thank you all very, very, very much. And I'm proud of myself because I was able to get on this Zoom pretty much all by myself. And,
Good job, Bob.
Hey.
Hey, Bob.
what is our next meeting?
That would be,
October.
I believe we are on the 15th of October. I'll have to double check, but I think that's, I think we're still doing the third Thursday at this point.
Okay.
Hey,
And
just check with
Ms.
Carly.
Knox, if you could make sure that's available for you.
I think that's the same night as the Friends meeting, but no matter.
Oh, that's too bad, Lori.
We'll miss you.
Yeah, or I don't know. Do you want to?
How did that happen?
Well, it's because we scheduled a bunch of the board meetings in advance just to get them on the calendar.
Yeah.
It partially happened because the Friends have had all of our meetings, I think, on Wednesdays, but this one in October, we had to schedule on a Thursday for some reason.
On Zoom.
Yeah.
So do we need to postpone it to the following week in October?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we are on the calendar for October 15th, the third Thursday.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's everybody's pleasure? We want to keep it on October 15th or defer to the Friends?
We'd love to all come to our meeting. It's our annual membership meeting, and it's always loads of fun and very informative.
Of course, my objection is, we have the meeting planned. Let's keep it the way it's planned. We'll get back with Lori and the Friends in November. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So October 15th, next meeting. All right. So no other business. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion by Becky. Any second?
Second.
Second by Sharon. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No opposition, I assume. All right, no abstentions. All right, so moved. It is carried. And thank you all very much. Talk to everybody on October 15th. Thank you
All right.
again very much.
All
Thank
right.
you, Tim.
Thanks, everybody.